Hi everybody, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's me, Joe, and in today's video I want to give you 3 great listening tips. These tips will help you improve your listening today, alright? Also, if you watch right to the end, there's going to be one bonus tip that everybody can benefit from. I'm also going to give you some practice opportunities by telling you 2 funny stories and giving you some questions to test your listening. Here we go. The first tip, all right? The first tip is to show people that you don't understand. When you don't understand what people are saying, do not just nod and smile, right? Do not pretend that you understand, right? That's no good. You have to be brave, and you have to stop them, and you have to tell them that you didn't understand. You have to say things like, "I'm sorry, I didn't catch that," or "I'm sorry, I didn't hear you." Okay? You have to do this because otherwise people think you do understand when you don't. Now, with a video, you can always just play the video again, play it again. All right? Or put on the subtitles. It's totally fine to do that. All right? If it helps you improve your English, everything is fine. Don't worry about it. All right? That's tip number 1. Now, before we go any further though, even though we just got started, I want to tell you the first secret code. There are 3 secret codes in this video, and if you send them all to me, I'll send you some extra material to help you improve your English. All right? So you have to send that to me on Instagram at Teacher Joe Crossman. When you send me that direct message, I'll respond to you and I'll send you extra material. I like helping people who work hard. Here is the first secret code. It is listen carefully. Okay? Now, let me tell you the first funny story. This first story is called Sheldon Drinks Too Much. Now, this story happens many years ago, maybe about 20 years ago. I was teaching English in South Korea with a friend named Jeff. And Jeff came back here to Canada for a visit. And he brought with him some traditional Korean alcohol, their version of whiskey, and it's called Soju. Okay? So he brought back several bottles and some pretty big bottles of Soju to share with his friends and maybe have a big party one summer when he was visiting. So at Jeff's house, lots of his friends came over and they opened up the bottles and they began drinking. And I don't know if you've ever had alcohol before, or especially Soju before, but it's very strong. It's very strong alcohol, and you will get drunk quickly. Jeff's friend Sheldon had a lot of it. So he got drunk, and then eventually he was, whoa, I have to go home because I'm too drunk. No problem. So he kind of stumbles to the door and he sits down and he goes to put on his shoes. The strange thing about it was, though, when he was putting on his shoes, they hurt. He was pulling them on and they really hurt. So he was like, oh man, that Korean alcohol is so strange because it makes your feet swell. To swell means to make your feet bigger because he couldn't fit inside his sneakers. But anyway, he kept pushing. He got his sneakers on and then he walked home. He just lived 1 block away from Jeff's. The next morning, he gets up. Jeff is calling his friends and saying, hey, you okay? Everybody okay? He calls Sheldon. Sheldon wakes up. Hey, Sheldon, are you okay? I am, man, but I don't want any more of that Soju. It swells your feet. and Jeff started laughing his head off because Sheldon's feet weren't bigger. Sheldon was just so drunk that he put on someone else's sneakers. Sheldon wears size 10, which is a big size in Canada, but he accidentally picked up somebody's sneakers who wore size 8, a much smaller size. So he pushed his feet into a size 8, and that's why they hurt. All right, so here's the questions. Number 1, where was the party? Number 2, what were they drinking? Number 3, what did Sheldon think? And number 4, what really happened? Okay, so I'll tell you the answers to those at the end of the video. Let's go on to tip number 2. Tip number 2 is request help. Okay, the first one was, as you remember, all right, tell people that you don't understand. All right. Number 2 is request help. So when you stop them and say you need help, you have to tell them what you need. So you can say, could you repeat that? Could you say that again? Could you explain it? Or if you need it, could you write that down? Okay? You want to hear what they're saying. It's important. So these are questions that can help you understand. You got to be brave, all right? But if you keep doing this, you will learn and you will improve your English and improve your listening. It takes courage, but you can do it. Let's move on now. Here is the second. Now let's move on to the second secret code. The second secret code is ask questions. Okay? Now here is the second story. It's called Christine's Haircut. I used to work with a girl named Christine. And when she was in high school, she was about 16 years old, and there was a dance at school that she wanted to go to. But she had a little problem. Her hair was a little too long, and it was kind of hanging down in her eyes. Okay, you understand? And she wanted to cut it a little bit higher, just on the eyebrows. Not too high, but a little bit up, just a little. But the problem is, it was Friday night. All the hairdressers were closed. All her friends were busy getting ready for the dance. The only person that could help her was her mom. But for some reason, Christine did not trust her mom to cut her bangs. You know, some women are very, very particular about how their hair looks. So you want to be very, very careful. So mom agreed to be careful. Christine forced her, said, be careful, just do what I tell you, nothing more. Her mom was like, okay, no problem. So Christine sat down and she said, I want you to cut them right across my eyebrows. Just like that, Mom. Nothing different. Mom said, okay, no problem, I got it. The problem is, because Christine didn't trust her mother, Christine kept looking at her mom like this. And when she keeps looking at her mom like this, her eyebrows are just, see the difference? About a centimeter higher. So if her eyebrows are up, her mom cuts them right here. And when the haircut was over, her eyebrows went down and her hair is cut up here. So she looked like a complete idiot. She looked like a dork. Okay? And a dork would be a loser. Christine was crying. Her mom was upset too. I don't know if she ever made it to the dance. Probably she had to go and get a hat. All right, so here are 4 questions for that story. Number 1, why did she want a haircut? Number 2, who had to cut it? Number 3, did she trust her? And number 4, how did Christine ruin her own hair? Okay? So those are the 2 stories for listening practice. You can write down the answers. I'm going to tell the answers in a little bit. So now let me give you the 3rd tip. Here's the 3rd tip. And it is check the meaning. Okay? So somebody says something, maybe you didn't understand, tell them you don't understand. Number 2 was request help. Ask them to repeat it again. The 3rd tip is check the meaning. So that means you tell them what you think they said. For example, you can say things like, so what you're saying is, and then tell them what you think. Or, so what you mean is, and then tell them what you think. All right? Those are great ways to double check what you think you've heard. If you heard it right, the person will say, yes, exactly, that's it. If you've heard it wrong, they'll correct you. Doing these 3 steps will make you a better listener. I promise. Okay? All right. Now, here is the 3rd secret code that I want you to send me. The 3rd secret code is practice as much as possible. All right? That's the 3rd. Send me those 3 secret codes and I'll send you some extra material to help your English. Now, here's tip number 4, extra tip number 4, and then I'm going to give you the answers to the questions. Tip number 4 is my best students who follow me either on Instagram or on YouTube, they watch 3 videos a day. My videos are other people's videos. The best students watch 3 videos a day. And in 1 short month, they improve greatly. So some of my videos have secret codes, like these ones. If you listen carefully and get all the secret codes, then I know you've watched the whole thing and you send me the secret codes and I help you more. Other people, they watch my older videos that don't have secret codes, but they then check the meaning. They write and they said, so Joe, what you're saying in this video is, and then they tell me what the video is about. Then I know they watched the whole thing and I help them more. Okay? So here are the answers to the questions. Where was the party? At Jeff's house. What were they drinking? Soju. What did Sheldon think? He thought soju swells your feet. And number 4, what really happened? Sheldon just put on shoes that were too small. The second story. Question 1. Why did she want a haircut? There was a dance that night at the high school. Number 2. Who had to cut it? Her mother. Number 3. Did she trust her? No, she did not. And number 4. How did Christine ruin her own hair? She ruined her hair by lifting her eyebrows and watching her mother do the cutting. All right? So those are the tips. Those are the questions. You can either write them down below, the answers, write them down below if you want, or you have them all now. And if you want to watch another video, I'll put a link right here because I want you to keep learning English because that's the most important thing. All right? I hope you have a great time and I hope I see you next time. See you later.